Okay.
Just because there's a cost associated with those two consent items
Yeah.
and being with the district.
$13A, B, yeah, just put it down at the top.
Everything else is fine. It's just those two items.
Okay. Yeah.
Manhattan City Manager, Danielle Doolin,
Is it really? Where has she been? Because I saw.
Warrensburg.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Gets approved, employment agreement gets approved tonight.
That's
They announced
fantastic.
it 2 days ago.
Approved all together.
Did you text Aaron?
Yeah, I said you got a good one.
Yeah, he will enjoy her. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I had seen that she'd gone, it's
Okay.
been a while ago, I'd seen that she'd gone through the thing or something, but.
Her former city manager.
Okay, it is 1 o'clock, time for a regularly scheduled meeting on Tuesday, August 6th. Madam Clerk, do we have a quorum?
Yes, Mayor.
With that, I believe we'll start with Commissioner Cessna on the invocation and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have given us. And we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting to help us make decisions to move our community forward in a positive direction. Be with all of our citizens in our community today, but especially be with our first responders and help watch over them and keep them safe as they do their duties, not only in our community, but across the United States. And as we pray, amen.
All right, next we have our approval of the minutes from the last regular meeting, which if are no corrections, will stand approved. Hearing none, those will stand approved. Okay, now it will be time for public comment. This is a time where anyone in the audience wishes to come and share any news with the commission up here. They come up to the microphone and state their name for the record. Okay, seeing none, I'd just like to make one more comment on item 10A. Matt, just kind of keep track on the time. We have a 1:15.
Thank you.
Public hearing, so we've got a lot of items to cover before that.
All right. We're ready for item 6A. The governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Kim Fisher with Scout Troop number 59 to allow the mayor to proclaim August 6, 2024 as Jace Bernanke Day in the city of Garden City, Kansas. Mayor and Commissioners, I'll read the proclamation. If you want to consider it beforehand or after, is up to you.
Mayor, I make the motion we approve the proclamation as presented. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, after I read the proclamation, we'll invite the commission down and we'll invite Jace up and anybody else Jace wants to come up and we'll take a photograph together. Whereas Jace Bernanke has been involved in Boy Scouts since 2013, has earned all the Cub Scout ranks and has also earned Cub Scouts' highest award, the Arrow of Light. And whereas Jace continued to advance through Boy Scouts, earning each rank and completing the requirements for Eagle Scout. And whereas Jace earned 24 total merit badges, even though only 21 are required for an Eagle Scout award. And whereas Jace completed an Eagle Scout service project that consisted of a significant service to the community by leading BCC STEM camp and robotics camp for youth to learn and practice hands-on STEM skills. And whereas 1 in 10 boys who join Scouting achieve the rank of Eagle Scout, and Eagle Scouts are regularly found among military, business, church, and community leadership, and most Eagle Scouts continue to advance the cause of Scouting into the communities where they live. Now, therefore, I, Manny Ortiz, Mayor of the City of Garden City, Kansas, do hereby proclaim August 6, 2024 as Jace Bernanke Day in Garden City and urge all citizens to acknowledge Jace's accomplishments and express their sincere appreciation for his service to our community, signed and sealed the 6th day of August, 2024.
Congratulations.
Okay. You've got a long meeting. Item 6B, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Kim Fisher with Scout Troop number 59 to allow the mayor to proclaim August 7th, 2024 as Mar-a-Lago Day in City of Garden City, Kansas.
Mayor, I make the motion we approve the proclamation as presented.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passed.
All right, I'll read this proclamation as well. Whereas Mar-a-Lago has been involved in Boy Scouts since 2015 and has earned all the Cub Scout ranks and also earned the Cub Scouts' highest award, the Arrow of Light. And whereas Mar-a-Lago continued to advance through Boy Scouts, earning each rank and completing the requirements for Eagle Scout. And whereas Mar-a-Lago earned 25 total merit badges, even though only 21 are required for an Eagle Scout. And whereas Mar-a-Lago completed an Eagle Scout service project that consisted of a significant service to the community by completing a Billion Graves project that documenting locations of grave sites at Sunset Memorial Gardens Cemetery. And whereas 1 in 10 boys who join Scouting achieve the rank of Eagle Scout, and Eagle Scouts are regularly found among military, business, church, and community leadership. And most Eagle Scouts continue to advance the cause of Scouting in the communities where they live. Now therefore I, Manny Ortiz, the City of Garden City, do hereby proclaim August 7th, 2024 as Mar-a-Lago Day in Garden City, Kansas, and urge all citizens to acknowledge Maro's accomplishments and express their sincere appreciation for his service to our community. Signed and sealed the 6th day of August, 2024.
All right, congratulations.
Mayor and Commissioners, item 6C. The governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Kim Fisher with Scout Troop number 59 to allow the mayor to proclaim August 8th, 2024 as Parker Fisher Day in the City of Garden City, Kansas.
Mayor, I move to approve the recognition as requested.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
I'll read the proclamation. Whereas Parker Fisher has been involved in Boy Scouts since 2013, has earned all the Cub Scout ranks and earned the Cub Scouts' highest award, the Arrow of Light. And whereas Parker continued to advance through Boy Scouts, earning each rank and completing the requirements for Eagle Scout. And whereas Parker earned 36 total merit badges, even though only 21 are required for an Eagle Scout award. And whereas Parker completed an Eagle Scout service project that consisted of service to the community by hosting a 5K run, 1 mile walk to benefit Spirit of the Plains CASA, providing duffel bags and hygiene products for their clients. And whereas 1 in 10 boys joining Scouting achieve the rank of Eagle Scout, and Eagle Scouts are regularly found among military, business, church, and community leadership. And most Eagle Scouts continue to advance the cause of scouting into the communities where they live. Now, therefore, I, Manny Ortiz, Mayor of the City of Garden City, Kansas, do hereby proclaim August 8, 2024 as Parker Fisher Day in Garden City, Kansas, and urge all citizens to acknowledge his accomplishments and express their sincere appreciation for his service to our community. Signed and sealed this 6th day of August, 2024. Mayor and Commissioners, item 6D, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Kim Fisher with Scout Troop 59 to allow the mayor to proclaim August 9th as Wyatt TD Day in the city of Garden City, Kansas.
Mayor, I make a motion we approve the proclamation as presented.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
All right, I'll read this proclamation as well. Mayor and Commissioners, whereas Wyatt TD has been involved in Boy Scouts since 2014, has earned all the Cub Scout ranks, and also earned Cub Scouts' highest award, the Arrow of Light. And whereas Wyatt continued to advance through Boy Scouts, earning each rank and completing the requirements for Eagle Scout. And whereas Wyatt earned 22 total merit badges, even though only 21 are required for an Eagle Scout award. And whereas Wyatt completed an Eagle Scout service project that consisted of a significant service to the community by completing a Billion Graves project locating and documenting grave sites at Valley View Cemetery, and whereas 1 in 10 boys who joined scouting achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, and Eagle Scouts are regularly found among military, business, church, and community leadership, and most Eagle Scouts continue to advance the cause of scouting into the communities where they live. Now, therefore, I, Manny Ortiz, Mayor of the City of Garden City, Kansas, do hereby proclaim August 9th, 2024, as Wyatt TD Day in Garden City, Kansas, and urge all citizens to acknowledge Wyatt's accomplishments and express their sincere appreciation for his service to our community. Signed and sealed the 6th day, 2024.
Hey, get the parents too. Parents and neighbors.
One more. All right. Don't be shy.
Get on up here.
Yeah, we'll tell them what to do.
Make space. Make space. I'll have to get it where
That's okay.
Where are you going?
I'm going back here.
We're gonna have to get on our toes back here.
Give me a boost with somebody.
What happens when we get in?
$114, Matt.
Mayor and Commissioners, by the time I get done reading the introduction of 10A, I think it'll be 1:15, so if you'd like, we'd go ahead and move to that item. Item 10A, it's a 1:15 public hearing for the consideration of an ordinance vacating a public street within the city of Garden City that is situated within the Echo Valley subdivision and named Chitlin Street. Following the close of the public hearing, you would be poised to consider ordinance vacating the public street, and if approved, it would be ordinance number 2988-2024.
I'll start the hearing.
All right, Mike?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. On July 2nd, 2024, the governing body passed resolution number 3113-2024, setting a public hearing for 1:15 on August 6th, which is today. The City of Garden City requests the governing body approve a proposal to vacate a public street located at 2900 East Shulman Avenue. The infrastructure within the public street was never constructed and is not desired by the current landowner of the surrounding property. The public street has no city utilities or communication facilities on the property. However, Black Hills Energy does have a natural gas line in the area. Therefore, this ordinance, if approved today, will vacate the property but will maintain a public utility easement across the entire property being vacated, allowing Black Hills Energy's facilities to remain in place and allows for any future underground utilities to occupy the easement. In addition, the city hereby reserves the north 20 feet of this property as a dedicated right-of-way to the same extent as originally dedicated. The alternatives, the governing body may choose to approve this ordinance as presented, or the governing body may choose not to approve the ordinance. Staff recommends the governing body approve the ordinance as presented, and under a fiscal note, there is no financial impact to the city of Garden City should you choose to pass this ordinance. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Is there any questions from the public that are here? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the hearing. Commissioners, any questions or?
Nope, makes sense. Mayor, I entertain a motion to approve ordinance 2988-2024.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
All right, if the commission's ready to go back to 6E, I think that's where we left off. The governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from City Parks and Recreation Director Hurd to allow, under Code Section 6-1, possession, consumption, and sale of cereal malt beverages or alcoholic liquors during the Siege 5K obstacle course run on Saturday, August 10th, 2024 at Dean Wiley Park. Celine.
Good afternoon. So So another special event, as Matt stated, the Siege scheduled for August 10th, which is a Saturday at DY. Well, the Siege actually is taking place at Garden City High School, and then they are moving over for the award ceremony, and which they would request to have zero malt beverage or alcoholic liquor served at the park. In the background, it's stated section 6-1 that we don't allow alcohol or zero malt beverage in local parks. This has been something they have done in the past. However, I think this is the first year that we've actually done it at Dean Wiley. Previous years, we actually did the same type of event with alcohol at the location at the Crazy House, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Thanks.
Could I ask why the move this year from that location? Do we know?
I do not know. I would have to defer to Parks and Rec Director.
Part of the location move was we had a lot of people who parked in the Crazy House parking, and the business did not like us taking up the majority of their parking. And so just getting out of their way kind of a thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and so for me, I'm probably going to be voting against this, not because I love the Siege and I think it's really great, but I think that on the private property, I was okay with that, but this is a public park. It's heavily used by kids and families. So to me, alcohol and even cereal malt beverages on that, to me, that's just not the place for it. I mean, unfortunately, I think the Siege is a really great opportunity, and I understand. And I know you guys tried to alleviate the parking by parking over at the high school, and then you'd bus us all over there. But so for that reason, when it comes up, I just want to let you know, I totally support the Siege. I think it's a great event. But as far as alcohol or cereal malt beverages at a public park, especially that one, which is so kid and family friendly, I'm going to be voting against.
Question, is this a tradition that we've been kind of doing at the past Sieges?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know how this came about? No, it's okay.
How what came about?
It was something they added.
With
I think.
the
Not the
cereal
first year it
beverages.
wasn't there.
Yeah, first year wasn't there. Second year, they added it as a, at the end of the
An
event.
incentive to bring.
Celebrate.
To celebrate the event.
Completion of an obstacle course.
Yeah.
Mayor, I make the motion to approve the request to waive the code section 1 for the consumption and possession of sale of alcoholic liquor and cereal malt beverage on August 10th at Dean Wiley Park for the Siege special event.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Motion passed 4-1.
Item 6F, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Steve Jesse with Midnight Oasis to allow under Code Section 6.1 possession, consumption, and sale of cereal malt beverages or alcoholic liquors during Food Truck Friday on Friday, September 6th, 2024 at Stevens Park. Celine.
Governing body. Mr. Jesse is in the audience if we need to speak with him. But again, this is per the city code, section 6-1, with unlawful consumption or possession of alcoholic liquor or cereal malt beverage in public, specifically in public park. Downtown Vision was approached by Mr. Steve Jesse with his Midnight Oasis traveling bar service to be allowed as a vendor at the Food Truck Friday event on September 6th. Both Downtown Vision representatives and Mr. Jesse have come to an agreement that if approved, he would set up on the north side of Stevens Park next to the concession stand, and will set up a 3D barrier perimeter for an area for consumption of alcoholic liquor. And if you have any questions for myself or Mr. Jesse, like I said, he is available. Your alternatives are to approve, to waive that section of code, or to deny that request.
So is this location away from the food trucks, the other food trucks? Is that why you're picking that location?
That would be away from.
When I spoke with Downtown Vision, they said that is a
they are going to have a lot of food trucks that day, so
Oh, I
there was
see.
no space on that area, and it just made sense as far as fencing off an area.
Oh, to be able to have the barrier.
Mayor, I move we approve the request to waive Code Section 6-1 to all for consumption, possession, and the sale of alcoholic liquor and cereal malt beverages on September 6, 2024 at Stevens Park for Food Truck Friday.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I'd just like to kind of give a note on, I know this is something new to the community, and whether it be a food truck or beverage truck, kind of falls in line with some licensing, maybe questions, but I'd kind of like to just look into that further in the future for either obtaining a license for that operation, or I know it's a special event type of deal, but it's just maybe something to look into as far as some discussion.
He would still require the state license, is that not
Yeah.
correct? Or
Correct.
Yes, he does, and Mr. Jesse did come speak to us regarding licensing in the city, and right now, he's only required by the state to have the state liquor license, because we do not have a special event for
Correct.
liquor.
But he does have that.
And he does have that,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
So, okay. So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Motion passed 4-1.
Item 6G, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Matt Byer, Athletic Director at Garden City High School, for an aircraft landing in the corporate limits of the city of Garden City, Kansas on September 6, 2024 at approximately 6:45 p.m. at Buffalo Stadium for the Military Night football game.
Governing body, as Matt stated, this is a request from the athletic director, Matt Byer, at the high school for an aircraft landing. Some of you might be familiar with that game at Buffalo Stadium. It is their military night. Per code section 14-71, landing at other than established airports are prohibited, except in the case of emergency. No person shall land any aircraft within the corporate limits of the city except upon regularly established airports, fields, or landing places without approval of the governing body. So we bring that request to you. They have made this request in the past, and I do believe the governing bodies have approved in the past.
Did they land directly on the field? I can't
Yes, they
remember.
do.
Yep, well,
They carry the game ball in.
yeah. I move that we approve the request to allow the landing of a helicopter at Buffalo Stadium at Garden City High School on September 6, 2024.
A second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Aye. Motion passed.
Item 6H, the governing body is asked to consider and approve the following requests from Katie Unger for the Leave a Legacy Walk Run on October 5th, 2024. First, waiver of the fees associated with the closure of public vehicle access to Lee Richardson Zoo from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on October 5th. Waive the sign ordinance and right-of-way restrictions to have a banner placed on the West Zoo fence from September 30th to August 7th. Waiver of the sign ordinance and right-of-way restrictions to have signs placed at various businesses and residential areas from September 30th to August 7th. Seelin.
Mayor and Commissioners, this all probably sounds very familiar from the special events meeting we had, our pre-meeting today. Katie Unger with Leave a Legacy has requested those requests that Matt just stated, and per city code of ordinance section 42-401, fees for Lee Richardson Zoo, a fee of $10 for each motorized vehicle with unlimited re-entry when visiting Lee Richardson Zoo. Also, the facility use agreement that we did speak about earlier, the Garden City, or Lee Richardson Zoo has a, the user and facility guidelines that they go by. And also section 23.08 G2 banner signs are prohibited in that zoning area. And they're just asking to have those signs placed on the zoo fence. They did originally ask to be September 7th through October 7th for their signs. But we did ask for just the 1 week prior to their event due to the amount of sign requests that we're receiving right now, and to allow for other people to put those signs there. So we did change that a little bit from their special event request. So the governing body may approve all the requests as presented. You may approve any combination of the requests presented or deny the requests presented. If you have any questions, I can help.
Has this been something we've done before in the past? I don't think it's been at the zoo though, right? Am I correct on that, or?
Yeah, it runs, it starts between the St. Catherine's and the Cancer Center, and then it runs through the zoo, so.
The event, the actual run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that they're only closing until 10 o'clock, the zoo, because I know that, that's it's a great event, and I know it really impacts a lot of people. And the Cancer Center having something like that here. I know the signs, I know we've talked about that, but the signs in different people's yards, I know those, hopefully those theirs are also taken down by the end of the event, so. Yeah, I move that we approve the request to waive the sign ordinance and right-of-way restrictions to place a banner at 3rd and Kansas from October, and you said what dates?
September 30th through October 7th.
September 30th to October 7th.
I think that's one of the three
Yeah,
requests.
sorry, I had my thing, yep. On the West Zoo fence, the 10-foot by 18-foot sign along Kansas Avenue between Campus Drive and 2nd Street from October 21st to 28th, I got the wrong one then. Sorry, my thing doesn't go back. Does someone else want to take this? Mine jumps.
Commissioner, do you want to just make a motion to approve the request as presented?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the request as presented. Thank you. That way you don't have to see me struggle with my computer, so.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion pass.
Item 6I, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Brittany Martin to waive the sign ordinance and right-of-way restrictions to have a banner placed at 3rd Street and Kansas Avenue from October 7th through 14th, 2024 for a family resource event. Seelan.
Governing body, again, per zoning regulation section 23.08G2, banner signs are prohibited in this area. They want to place their sign at 3rd Street and Kansas Avenue, October 7th through the 24th, as Matt stated. This event actually is taking place at A. Harold Long Park. I don't have the date for that, sorry. On October 11th. So the governing body may approve to request this sign ordinance and right-of-way restrictions to place the banner at 3rd Street and Kansas Avenue from the October 7th to the 14th, or you may deny the request. Staff has no recommendation.
Mayor, I move we approve the request to waive the sign ordinance and right-of-way restrictions to place a banner at 3rd Street and Kansas Avenue from October 7th through 14th, 2024 for a family resource event.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion pass.
Item 6J, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Arlene Clark with Peddler's Market to waive the sign ordinance and right-of-way restrictions to have a banner placed at 3rd Street and Kansas Avenue. The West Zoo fence and signs along Kansas Avenue between Campus Drive and 2nd Street from October 21st through 28th for the Peddler's Market event.
Mayor and Commissioners, again, this is a zoning regulation section 23.08G2, banner signs being prohibited in these areas. I did speak with Arlene Clark regarding the placement of those signs on Kansas Avenue and with the construction in that area, and she just did ask maybe if she could move them to a different part of Kansas Avenue. But I don't have a specific, but she was just asking for the waiver still. For those sections. So the governing body may approve the request to waive those ordinances and right-of-way restrictions. I didn't put it in here, but you could also approve any combination of those requests, and then you may deny the request. Their event is October 26th and 27th, I believe. Yes. And these are similar to what she has requested.
And did we approve this last year, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the only thing with Kansas Avenue, I think the Kansas Avenue just needs to be totally like the signs on Kansas Avenue. Now, the one at the 3rd and Kansas, which is in the banner, 3rd Street and Kansas Avenue and the zoo fence, I can see those. And then the Kansas Avenue, but those ones, anything on the street itself, it's already complicated enough, so.
You're seeing the small signs along that?
Yeah, because they usually do the small signs along, but it's already enough to stay focused on there, so. Yeah, I move that we approve the request to waive the sign ordinance and right-of-way restrictions to place a banner at 3rd and Kansas Avenue, the West Zoo fence, and that's it.
From October 21st to the 28th?
Right.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passed.
Mayor and Commissioners, item 6K, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a request from Melody Wade with Epsilon Sigma Alpha to waive the drive-through charge entrance fee, or the drive-through entrance fee at Lee Richardson Zoo for a scavenger hunt fundraiser on August 10th.
Mayor and Commissioners, Ms. Wade reached out to Lee Richardson Zoo and to the city clerk's office to request a waiver of the drive-through fee for her group that will be coming on August 10th. They will be doing a scavenger hunt type fundraiser. She did think that there would be 8 to 10 vehicles that would be passing through that day, and she was just asking for a waiver since it is a fundraiser for their agency or association. So the alternatives before you, I don't know that we've done this in the past, not for this group, I believe, and Christy could probably follow up on that with me also. But the alternatives before you today would be to approve the request to waive the drive-through for this group on August 10th for their fundraiser, or you may suggest other alternatives, or 3, you may deny the request. Staff has no recommendation.
I have a question.
Yes, they didn't put a time, actual time, when, in their letter, when they would be going through the zoo. Do you guys know when an actual time, or, I mean, it would be kind of hard to figure out who's coming and going.
Right,
or
unless
who
they're
with.
identified somehow as part of the.
I did not get that information
Okay.
from them.
My fear is with a vehicle scavenger hunt, speaking from personal experience, is that there's going to be a lot of zooming through just anywhere. So I wonder, is Ms. Wade here to ask some questions for her about the event?
I did request that they attend. Ms. Wade is actually from Wichita.
Okay.
Would they be doing it in the vehicles, or they're going to be outside the vehicles for the scavenger hunt,
I believe
or?
they would be getting outside of
Okay.
the vehicles, but driving through and then dispersing.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of unanswered questions. I mean, I think we've asked some, and then there's a way to identify who's involved in that. I mean, because I don't think, other people who want to drive through that, that's, unless they're going to be involved in the event, I'm sure there's some type of entry fee, so.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a way to get more information, or is it?
Christy, do you have any more information on that? I mean, we got the letter, but
Right.
that's all, that you don't have anything else from?
Okay.
Okay. Mayor, I make the motion that we deny the request as presented.
So I'll second that with if the caveat, if she get different additional information, that she'd present it again, so.
I would like to suggest that I think it could be that Ms. Wade doesn't live here, and they can park outside for free and then all head in.
That's so too.
For the scavenger hunt, because more than likely, if it's a scavenger hunt, they're more than likely either taking photos or gathering things, and it would actually be faster for them to be running around the zoo than driving around the zoo. So I think it'd be great to suggest that to her.
And my only thing was that if they, because they talk about disabilities, so I didn't know if they had disabilities. I mean, people with disabilities, and so that was my only, but again, without that information, there's just really no way to tell. So, yeah, I agree, Commissioner.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, so if there's no other discussion, we'll take a vote.
I just want to be clear, to deny the request, Commissioner Cessna, with suggestions, or just to deny the request? With more information later to...
Well, she would have...
The event is Saturday.
The event is Saturday, and the motion was to deny the request. If some addition to the motion happens, then the person making the motion has to agree to the addition.
And I appreciate that you indicated she should be here too, so I think that's, or call in or something.
I just don't feel comfortable with not having the entire information in front of me to vote in favor of something like this. That's why I just denied the request. I mean, we're making suggestions in a public meeting if they want to hear about that through online, but at this point, from my standpoint, I'm denying the request that was presented to us.
Okay. All right, so you have the explanation, so we'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes for denial.
And I'll get more information next time we have requests similar to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Section 7 of the agenda is the report of the city manager. These are all written staff reports. Does the commission have any questions on any of those or comments?
Sales tax receipts are really impressive.
Yeah.
I did like the social media report. It's showing good results on communication out to our community and other destinations.
Yeah, my GCK kind of almost doubled, so people following that link, it's good.
And I think that just the quality of the material that's presented, and then also people really going there for one-stop shop to find out what's going on. So they've done a really great job. So
I also like where we're at on the update on the goals for this year.
it's been a lot.
Very impressive on the amount of work that's been done on all of the goals that we've set for staff to work on.
Thank you. All right, well, we'll call your attention to meetings of note. Today is National Night Out and Election Day, and so vote candidates for local office primaries, as well as the City of Garden City sales tax ballot issue. Any of those requiring RSVPs, we'd ask you to do that through the city clerk's office. So I think we're ready for the consideration of the appropriation ordinance, section 9, item A. If approved, it would be appropriation ordinance number 2568-2024A.
Mayor, I make a motion we approve appropriation ordinance number 2568-2024A.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
We've completed item 10A. That takes us to 10B. 10B is the governing body is asked to consider and approve the off-street parking requirements for residential zoning districts. And if approved, would be ordinance number 2989-2024. Alicia.
Mayor and Commissioners, on May 7th, 2024, staff held a pre-meeting session with the City Commission to discuss current residential zoning regulations, incentives, and potential changes to increase residential development. During that presentation, staff presented reduced parking requirements to our current residential zoning districts. Staff has researched other similar areas to Garden City and have found that our residential parking requirements were significantly higher than those similar areas. During the presentation, the City Commission directed staff to move forward with the changing of the current residential parking requirement minimums. The proposed parking requirements are the minimum requirements allowing builders, developers, and homeowners to exceed the minimum parking requirements. Staff consulted with our consulting engineers from Wilson and Company and Finney County Economic Development prior to presenting this proposal to the City Commission. The proposed changes are as follows. For single-family and two-family dwellings, it'll be 2 spaces per unit. For multiple-family dwelling, it'll be 1.5 spaces per 1 bedroom and 1.75 spaces per 2-bedroom unit. Any total number of off-street parking spaces resulting in a decimal shall be rounded to the nearest whole number. The current parking requirements specify where the parking spaces shall be located. Removing the location requirements allows for a variety of parking spaces, locations, and the ability to design a different style of residence. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the proposed amendment at the July 18, 2024 meeting by unanimous vote, and the minutes are attached. If approved, Neighborhood and Development Services will present these and other potential new residential zoning amendments that were presented at the May 7, 2024 pre-meeting to the Southwest Kansas Home Builders Association on Thursday, August 8, 2024 at 12 p.m. The alternatives are the governing body may approve the ordinance or the governing body may not approve the ordinance. Staff recommends the governing body adopt the Planning Commission's recommendation by approving the proposed ordinance.
So Lisa, if this is approved, does it go into effect immediately, or was there a date, I can't remember, that it would go into effect?
So it goes into effect as soon as the ordinance is published.
It's published, okay.
Does this affect the housing developments or any that are building now, or does that?
So any of the housing developments that have a current development agreement, so if they have like a PUD or a PCD that specify what their parking requirements are, no, they'll have to build to whatever's in their agreement.
Finish that.
However, if it's just your typical RHID development agreement, they can go by what the current parking requirements are.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I move approved the ordinance 2989-2024.
Second.
Okay, it's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Thank you guys for all the work that you put into it. I do really appreciate the minutes from the other boards to kind of discuss and the information that was explained to them. So it really helps kind of make that determination on what was discussed in those meetings. So thanks for all the work put into that. So with that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
Item 10C, the governing body is asked to consider and approve an environmental nuisance resolution. If approved, this resolution would be number 3117-2024, and it would abate conditions at 1008 West Mary Street. We have a few three environmental nuisance resolutions for your consideration. We'll go through all of the process and explanation on this item 10C. On 10D and 10E, we will just indicate the resolution number and the address, and if anybody's here to speak on any of the three environmental nuisance resolutions being considered, they're invited to come up after the staff report to do so.
Okay.
All right. Trent.
Mayor, Commissioners, for your consideration, this nuisance case, 1008 West Mary Street. There's some miscellaneous workout equipment that was located outside. Staff has visited the property on many occasions. We have sent notices out to the property owners on June 6th of 2024 and June 26th on 2024. And then also followed up with an email on July 19th trying to make contact. And staff was unable to make any contact with the property owner or property owner reaching out to staff. For your alternatives today, alternative number 1, the governing body may approve the attached resolution. Number 2, the governing body may not approve the attached resolution. Staff's recommendation is approval of the attached resolution, which will allow us to abate it. And the fiscal note is any charges associated with the abatement of the property will be assessed to the property.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve Resolution 3117-2024.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
Item 10D, the governing body is asked to consider and approve an environmental nuisance resolution, which if approved would be number 3118-2024 and abate conditions at 1616 Bancroft Street.
Anyone here for this item? Seeing none, do I hear a motion?
Member, we approve resolution number 3118-2024.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
Item 10E, the governing body is asked to consider and approve an environmental nuisance resolution, which if approved would be 3119-2024 and abate conditions at 2109 Denison Street.
Anyone here for this item? Seeing none, do I hear a motion?
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 3119-2024.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That takes care of the ordinances and resolutions. There's no old business. Section 12 is new business, and 12A, as we ask the governing body to consider changes to the 2025 city budget so that the notice of hearing to exceed the revenue neutral rate and the budget hearing for the 2025 city budget can be prepared. Jared.
Good afternoon. The City Commission was presented information and provided staff direction at the July 2nd, 2024 meeting, which has now been incorporated into the 2025 budget. The changes made to the budget include the budget request for downtown vision was reduced by $4,300 to match the 2024 requested amount. This leaves the budget amount at $134,000. A $50,000 reduction to the general fund cash carryover to 2026. This leaves a budget amount of $3,600,000. Removal of general fund transfer to CIP fund in 2025 of $150,000 and adjusting the allocation of the anticipated excess funds from the 0.15 sales tax in 2025 to transfer $200,000 to the CIP fund and $200,000 to the general fund. A reduction to the material street repair in the general fund of $237,500. This leaves a budget amount of $1,162,500. A $25,000 reduction in the transfer to the recreation reserve, leaving a budget amount of $25,000, and the allocation of social funding for 2025 has been reduced by $25,000, leaving a budget amount of $21,500. These changes result in a mill levy rate of 38.492, consistent with the current rate for 2024. With the City Commission's consideration and approval of the changes listed above, the 2024 notice of hearing to exceed revenue neutral rate and budget hearing can be prepared. A draft notice is included with this item. The draft notice incorporates a flat mill levy of 38.492. If the governing body elects to choose an alternative separate from that presented in the draft notice, the appropriate changes will be incorporated by staff, and the notice will be prepared and published by staff before the August 20th, 2024 meeting to ensure compliance with the publishing requirements for the revenue neutral rate hearing and budget hearing. The public hearing on the revenue neutral rate and budget hearing is scheduled for September 3rd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Incorporated into the budget that has been presented are the principal and interest costs for a 20-year term general obligation bond for the water fund in the approximate amount of $8 million. This will cover the first year of the city's obligation for the water use project, the construction of a water tower, the construction of an extraneous flow basin for the wastewater plant, and the cost of engineering for redrilling water wells. With the Commission's approval of the draft notice, staff will begin working with the City's bond counsel and bond advisor to prepare for the bond issuance. The alternatives before the governing body today are to approve the budget as presented and authorize staff to publish the notice of hearing to exceed revenue neutral rate and budget hearing for September 3rd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. And the governing body may provide direction to staff of additional adjustments to be made to the budget and authorize staff to publish the notice of hearing to exceed revenue neutral rate and budget hearing for September 3rd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. And staff recommends that the governing body approve the budget as presented and authorize staff to publish the notice of hearing to exceed the revenue neutral rate and budget hearing for September 3rd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m.
Good work on this. I move that the governing body approve the budget as presented and authorize staff to publish the notice of hearing to exceed revenue neutral rate and budget hearing for September 3rd, 2024 at 1:30 p.m.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion pass. Thank you.
Item 12B, the governing body is asked to consider and approve authorizing the mayor to sign an engagement letter with Lewis Hooper and Dick LLC to perform financial auditing services for the city of Garden City for the years ending December 31, 2024 through 2026.
The city's current engagement letter with Lewis Hooper and Dick LLC expired with the conclusion of the most recent audit of the 2023 city financials. Lewis Hooper and Dick LLC has provided auditing services for decades and is considered the premier governmental auditing firm in Western Kansas. The fee for auditing services is expected not to exceed $123,500 for the 2024 audit, with an increase not exceeding 3% per year for 2025 and 2026. The alternatives before the governing body are to authorize the mayor to sign the engagement letter for auditing services with Lewis Hooper and Dick LLC, or the governing body may not authorize the mayor to sign the engagement letter for auditing services with Lewis Hooper and Dick LLC and direct staff to request qualifications from vendors for the service. And the staff recommends the governing body authorize the mayor to sign the engagement letter for auditing services with Lewis Hooper and Dick LLC. As a fiscal note, the cost of the city audit is proportionally split between the city's taxing funds and enterprise funds, specifically the general fund in service of finance, and then the water and electric utilities.
Has the new financial software helped in their auditing process? Has it enhanced it or simplified it at all, Jared? Or?
It complicated it for the first year.
Well, right, yeah, yeah, of course.
There are features in the new software that allow us to account for things that we didn't quite do before, or at least account for them in a different way. I would say overall, having it in one system instead of multiple systems is helpful. There was definitely an adjustment period to figure out some of the reportings we were really used to in the old system. We kind of had to figure out how to redo in the new one. Overall, the complication from the audit comes from the new requirements that come through GASB. Year over year, they come up with new ideas of kind of different things to quantify, and that has greatly expounded upon the amount of what our audit takes, both financially and just time of staff. With the new software, we have a couple different softwares that actually help with some of those GASB requirements that we pay for that help to facilitate the reporting and tracking of the different elements, such as software agreements, different lease agreements, all of our bond and debt. We use different kind of modules or things to help track those.
Yeah, hopefully to streamline it. I move that we approve the mayor to sign the engagement letter for auditing services with Lewis Hooper and Dick LLC.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion pass.
Thank you.
Item 12C, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a grant agreement with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to construct a water reclamation and reuse project as directed in the 2023 Consolidated Appropriations Act. Fred?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. Since 2016, the city has continually worked to develop additional strategies to utilize reclaimed water treated by the city's wastewater utility that would otherwise be discharged to the Arkansas River. The city has pursued multiple projects and studies, including 3 federal grants awarded to the city from the Bureau of Reclamation, assisting staff in developing a reuse strategy and identifying outlets for reclaimed water that benefit the sustainability of the city's water supply. In late 2022, with the support of the Kansas congressional delegation, Congress authorized $19.1 million for the city to complete the first phase of the improvements identified in the city's feasibility studies. And the project will result in approximately 36,500 linear feet of reclaimed water mains, irrigation infrastructure, booster pumps, water meters, effluent water storage, and the implementation of a SCADA system with required electrical improvements, which are expected to help sustain potable groundwater supplies by offsetting water demands, replenishing aquifer levels, and providing alternative water resources for the residents of Garden City and Western Kansas. The grant agreement notifies the city that funds for the project are available and can be drawn down per the administrative and programmatic conditions outlined in the agreement. The total project authorized by the agreement is $23,875,000, of which $19.1 million is federal funds and $4,775,000 is a recipient of funds, which is the City of Garden City, in matching contributions. The grant agreement is attached with this memo, and I would note, as you're looking through that, Mayor, and signing documents at the end of the meeting, this grant agreement doesn't require a counter signature from the city. So the purpose of this is just to officially memorialize the agreement. If approved, the city's engineer for this project, Burns and McDonnell, will present a scope of work at a future meeting for the governing body's approval to proceed with the final engineering and design for construction. The city will also execute agreements with Circle Land and Cattle to utilize the reclaimed water resources. Additionally, the city has also executed a MOU with Wheatland Electric Cooperative Incorporated regarding the extension of terms for water reuse beneficial to Wheatland and the city, and also includes the acquisition of a pipeline from Wheatland Electric to be utilized for this project. City staff will continue to work with Wheatland Electric to finalize this agreement as part of the overall project. That was a mouthful. So alternatives, the governing body may choose to approve the grant agreement from EPA as presented for the Garden City Water Reclamation and Reuse Project, or alternately, the governing body may choose not to approve the grant agreement from EPA for the Garden City Water Reclamation and Reuse Project, and direct staff to file a notice of disagreement regarding the grant terms with the EPA by tomorrow, August 7th, 2024. Staff recommends that the governing body approve the grant agreement from EPA as presented for the Garden City Water Reclamation and Reuse Project. Under the fiscal note, which the Finance Director touched on briefly in his comments regarding the budget, the city will be responsible to provide matching funds for the project. The funding source for the city's match requirement will be the 2024-25 general obligation bond, and the project is anticipated to be completed by late 2027. The city's engineer for this project, Burns and McDonnell, have prepared a cost breakdown through the anticipated phases of the project, and that rubric is listed in the memo for your reference. That's all I have.
No, I appreciate the breakdown because, again, this idea of knowing that we'll have to come up with something every year for budgeting purposes. I also think this is a project that is innovative in a way that, really in the future, since water is going to become increasingly important, that we're going to have to figure out these kind of things. And having this as a standout and also just an example to other communities who struggle with water also will be we'll learn a lot from it, and they'll learn a lot from us. So congratulations on that. Great job.
May I move we approve the grant agreement from EPA as presented for the Garden City Water Reclamation and Reuse Project.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion pass.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fred.
Item 12D, the governing body is asked to consider and approve a three-party development agreement with Wharfland LLC and O'Reilly Auto Enterprises for sanitary sewer extension, water, and electrical distribution. Alicia.
Mayor and Commissioners, at the February 6, 2024 meeting, Ordinance number 2975-2024 was passed to annex plus or minus 11.05 acres located at East Mary Street and East Highway 156. As part of the annexation, the city must enter into a development agreement with the property owner. This three-party development agreement is between the City of Garden City, Wharfland LLC, and O'Reilly Auto Parts Enterprises LLC for the sanitary sewer extension, water, and electrical distribution for the development of a commercial property. The alternatives today is the governing body may approve the three-party agreement with Wharfland LLC and O'Reilly Auto Enterprises LLC, or the governing body may not approve the three-party agreement with Wharfland LLC and O'Reilly Auto Enterprises. Staff recommends the governing body approve the three-party agreement with Wharfland LLC and O'Reilly Auto Enterprises LLC. There is no fiscal impact. The developer will be responsible for the costs of the sanitary sewer extension, water, and electrical distribution.
Mayor, I move we approve the three-party agreement with Wharfland LLC and O'Reilly Auto Enterprises LLC.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion pass.
Thank you.
Item 12E, the governing body is asked to consider and approve the second half 2023 semi-annual report from the Community Development Block Grant Revolving Loan Fund on behalf of Great Plains Development, Inc.
The Community Development Block Grant Program is a flexible program that provides communities with resources to address a wide range of unique community development needs. Great Plains Development, Inc. manages these accounts for the City of Garden City and is required to send a semi-annual report to the Kansas Department of Commerce. The alternatives for the governing body today are that they may approve the semi-annual report for the period ending June 30th, 2024, or that they may deny the semi-annual report for the period ending June 30th, 2024, and staff recommends that the approval of the semi-annual report. As a note here, when Bob Wetmore was here with Great Plains Development recently, he talked about how this is the program that is ceasing. So we'll continue to have reports as they wrap up those last repayments of loans, but the report will probably dwindle here in the near future. And if they collect or we end up writing off any of those, it would end up ceasing at that point.
Mayor, I make the motion that we approve the semi-annual report as presented.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion pass.
Thank you.
The final item under new business is an executive session. We don't anticipate any action to be taken after the executive session, so the commission would like to move forward to the consent agenda. A little bit different from past meetings. We are actually knocking out quite a few items under the consent agenda today. If you don't want to pull off anything separately, it would be items 13A through 13M. And I do believe there's two items that Commissioner Cessna has asked to be, asked the minutes to reflect that he has
He would just
stepped down
remove himself from this whole agenda.
from the whole consent agenda.
so
Okay, all right.
It won't have to be pulled out separately.
All right, so the appropriate motion to approve would be to approve consent agenda items 13A through 13M.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda items 13A through 13M.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passed.
Very good. Okay, I think with that, we'll go back to item 12F. The governing body is asked to consider and approve entering into an executive session pursuant to KSA 75-4319B2 pertaining to consultation with an attorney for the body or agency which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, and with the specific purpose of potential litigation.
Matt, I think before that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
that's
off.
fine.
You want to go ahead and just go through the commissioner reports?
absolutely.
And then we can close with that at the end?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
So we'll go through the commissioner reports. So starting with Commissioner Cessna.
Yeah, community has a lot of Eagle Scouts to be proud of, which was really great to have all of those represented today. Also today is primary election, so go out and vote, make your voice be heard. And today is National Night Out, so we'll be out visiting the community at a number of sites around the community. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Commissioner Cessna. Next, Commissioner Landgraf.
Just going off of what Commissioner Cessna said, just want to remind folks that the polls are open until 7 p.m. And if you're wondering what your polling location is, you can go to the Finney County Clerk's Facebook or the City of Garden City's Facebook page and see a link. It's really easy to do. Just type in your address and it'll tell you exactly where to go. Also, just wanted to say it was good to get an update on the commission goals and seeing those as well as seeing how those are progressing along. And also, it was a great pre-meeting, seeing all the number of events that are going on, the special events. So,
Thank you, Commissioner Landgraf. Next, we'll have Commissioner Nguyen.
Yeah, congratulations to the Eagle Scouts that we celebrated today. I was actually a Cub Scout growing up. And then also, the final beam for our fire station was erected yesterday. I wasn't at the official ceremony, but I signed it earlier last week, and it's such a joy because hopefully one day when my grandchildren are around here, I can point and say, hey, my name's up there somewhere. But today is Election Day, and I think it is incredibly important to stress that we, as citizens of Garden City and also Kansas, have a civic duty and definitely a moral obligation to vote. Polls close at 7 p.m., so please find a quick 15 minutes to go vote. National Night Out is this evening. There are 3 events across town. It's a great way to hang out with the men and women that offer their lives to protect us and the city that we live in. And then we are still looking for name suggestions for the Southeast Park. So if you have someone you're willing to honor or a name that you'd like to submit, you can use the link on our Facebook page or on the Rex website.
Thank you. All right, next we'll have Commissioner Unruh.
So yeah, I do want to congratulate the Eagle Scouts also. That was pretty impressive to have them all. And Kim Fisher's typewriter, her computer must have worn out as she's sending all those requests. I also want to thank the parents and the leaders and the sponsors who stand behind these young men and women in scouting. I'll tell you, it takes a lot of that to make this all happen. So just wanted to say congratulations to an incredible Finney County Fair. There was so much to do. Yes, it was extremely hot, and then the weekends, but they were so full. And seeing people out at the fair and how much fun they had, I just wanted to say congratulations to the Finney County Fair Board. The fire station, we did get a tour as part of a meeting with our city manager, and it is, wow, I didn't realize how impressive it really is going to be, but it's really going to be a standout. A National Night Out is an opportunity to celebrate, as Commissioner Nguyen and Commissioner Cessna and Commissioner Landgraf said, our men and women who are our first responders. So what a neat opportunity to do that. And then I just wanted to say thank you to Sealand and Corey for the really great pre-meeting. I think it's something that's been long overdue and something that we can really simplify and make sure we do that. Also, Mike, after we're done, make sure you ask me about, I had a resident stop me when I was walking the dogs the other night that I needed to talk to you about. So I don't want to forget it, but I wrote it down here. It's something simple, but an easy fix. But if I don't say it out loud, I'll forget that. Other than that, I just really appreciate all this going on in Garden City and the way that our community takes care of our community.
All right, thank you. With that, I won't repeat anything else that our fellow commissioners said here, but I do go out and vote. That's a way to kind of get involved with your community, local leaderships there to vote on. I did want to, this fire station topping of the ceremony, that was a great event. And if you need to go back and share that with your family later, there's pictures and videos on social media. So that was pretty awesome to attend. But thank you, Corey and Sealand, for the special events presentation this morning. That was really helpful on on that process. So a lot of different people get involved in these special events, and so it takes a lot to get those going and to make sure that they run smoothly. So thanks to all those who are involved in that. I did have some just things that fellow residents have brought to my attention, so I don't, you can take them down. Mike, this probably be for you if you want. There was graffiti on the bridge at Fleming, just south of Fair Street. I believe that's DD2 ditch. And then I was asked about the bars on the recycling containers. Why were those put on? I couldn't give a good explanation of that, but I didn't know if it was just to keep debris from flying out of the trash cans or what that process was.
Yes, Mayor. The reason they put those bars on there is to limit the size of the material that can be put in there, so you can't stick a whole bag of something in something that's supposed to go like just for aluminum cans or something like that.
Okay, thank you. Recycling also on the electronics. Do you know where they were electronics, or do we still offer electronic recycling?
Yes, they do. It's the same place.
Okay.
What I'll do though, Mayor, if it's okay, I'll get with Tyler and social media and put something out so that make sure everybody knows where that goes.
Yep, no, that'd be great. So I appreciate the information on that. So I do like to express though the fact that Garden City is we have a lot of leadership, a lot of good people that we can just ask questions like that for, and we would get the answer for you some way, somehow. So whether it's through your commissioners or mayor or staff of the city, they would be happy to assist you and get you in the right direction on that information. So we're thankful that you do come to us as far as that type of information or any other. We are easy people to get along with, easy people to talk to, I'd hope, anyways. So if you do have questions like that, feel free to contact us anytime. But yeah, a lot of things happening in Garden City, construction. Codes are changing, so be aware of that. We will put out notices for those things when they're updated and when they go into effect. So thank you for that work, staff, on that information to get put out quickly. And that's all I have. So we'll move on to the next item on the agenda.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Back to 12F. Staff's requesting the governing body consideration of an executive session pursuant to KSA 754319B2 pertaining to consultation with an attorney for the body or agency which would be deemed privileged in an attorney-client relationship and for the specific purpose of potential litigation. We would ask that we go in for approximately 20 minutes. Well, not approximately. Go in for 20 minutes with City Attorney Cunningham, Assistant City Attorney Dummermuth, ACM Daniel Burke, myself, and Neighborhood and Development Services Director Trent Maxwell.
Could we have a short break?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Come back at 2:20?
2:20, yeah.
Yeah.
Mayor, I make the motion we go into executive session pursuant to KSA 75-4319B2 pertaining to consultation with attorney for the body or agency which would be deemed privileged in an attorney-client relationship pertaining to potential litigation with legal counsels of Jennifer Cunningham and Dummermuth, City Manager Matt Allen, Assistant City Manager Daniel Burke, and Neighborhood and Development Director Trent Maxwell for 20 minutes starting at 2:20 and ending at 2:40.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed.
And Mayor, we don't anticipate any action taken after this executive session, so we're going to shut down the broadcast of the meeting.
Thank you.